It is quite weird that sometimes when you have people in the studio where they actually look very good, they are so self-conscious. And I mean, they really sort of like, I don't know, compare themselves to supermodels or something, whatever. Anyway, we have here, there is this young woman with this kid, and she was being extremely self-critical, like, and there's one interesting photo I want you guys to look at. I have 5 photos here, which were sort of like, which was selected out from the whole photo session, and one of the photos, the mother really liked. The mother of the young woman here, and she didn't like it herself. This young woman here, she's almost hated it, and it's so typical that. So I'm just gonna show. I'm just gonna run the 5 pictures. These are unedited photos. This should obviously be a little bit lighter. And one of these photos, she simply hated. Okay? So which one is it? You got it? Well, it is the one where you can see her teeth. Now she has perfect teeth, but at a certain age, I would say a lot of teenagers don't want to show their teeth, even though they have perfect teeth. But I meet this a lot in the studio, that you have very good looking people, and especially girls, and they don't want to show their teeth. And they don't want to smile a lot because it is somehow not so controlled. I mean, they don't mind these other photos where they just look amazing. This is the photo which we're gonna edit here in a few moments, but I just want you to see the other photos, just to see that this woman surprisingly was extremely self-critical and self-conscious as to how she looked. And obviously she looks very good, and she is very stylish and so on. And I find it very interesting that there is a lot of that. You'll very often meet that people who look very good, they don't really know it, or they want to look even more perfect. So that's just a very interesting thing. Okay? So anyway, we are going to deal with this lovely photo here. And now I have said that, okay, so she's like perfect. The thing is that what we're gonna, I'm just gonna make my face a little bit less here, because we're gonna show, this photo is just like a very nice photo, and I'm just gonna run you through all the different steps here, and we're just gonna start by making this a little bit lighter, and I'm gonna use levels here. And I'm basically gonna, I could move levels in here so you can see it. You can see here, this is where you can see the mouse moving around. That is the general photography. These are the whites. And we can just do this, press it all the way up to this thing here. So, got a customer calling. I'm gonna pause it. So obviously you gotta take care of the business and take the phone when it rings. So I will always do that, even though this is actually in the evening where I'm doing editing, and people will still now and again call me. So that's fine. Anyway, I was talking about levels here, and we start by achieving a general betterment of the picture simply by moving levels here. So you can see that where I move the mouse now, all these are the white nuances, and they can just basically be forgotten. So I'll just repeat it by moving from here to there. We just get a general betterment of the picture. You can see that's a lot. Maybe we want it to be a little bit darker in this side also. So now it's sort of like it looks nice. Now you might expect that, oh, she will look perfect, but nobody does when you get closer. And this is a 50 megapixel raw material, so when we go close we can see there are lots of issues. I don't know, they have ordered this photo in a digital delivery, so we don't know, are they going to make this a huge photo? So the quality obviously need to handle all these things here. Okay, and there is some skin issues on everyone. I mean, the two persons here have different skin issues, and we're gonna address them in a different way. There's also a little bit of wounds here and so on. So I'll move this in also so you can see it, the different layers we are operating with here. I'll make a copy of the background so I can see what it is that I'm working on. Okay, so I will start by just removing wounds and stuff like that, and I will use a cloning tool here, and I will use 50% opacity. That means that I'll be mixing this is the target area here where I'm pressing, and I will be mixing that with the original, and we'll use 50% of each. So that means here there's an old wound down here. Obviously we couldn't see that before when we were looking at the photo, but the moment we start to put it up in size, we can see there are all sorts of issues which needs to be addressed, because we don't know in a digital delivery what kind of scaling this photo will go up to. It could be that this is going to be a wall size, so we take all these things away which are a little bit distracting, and just like something we can, I do this thing, I put myself in the person's perspective, you might say, and say, what would I like to have done if I was this young woman here? And of course you don't want to move a lot of things which are completely natural. For this starting point here, I will just remove basic wounds of a certain size, because I have a different tool I want to use when I'm going to remove the smaller issues. So right now I'm just removing the small issue, the not so small, because the very small ones like these things here, the scaling, I will use a different tool. So I'll show you that. But first I will remove as a basic thing shine, a little bit too much shine, and I will use remove red areas and wounds and stuff like that. So also there is something within the nose. I don't know if you can see it down here. There is a little bit of something all the way in here, so we're gonna take this area here and clone over here. So we will just remove that little thing. So you have to see everything, and this is also a little bit coming out here. I did too much, so I go a little bit back, and I just want to remove that little thing there. It's not doing what I want it to do. It doesn't matter. I will get that with the other tool I was going to use. So we can see here that this one here is a natural thing, We do not remove those. I have the my general idea about what to edit and not to edit is that anything which will be here in 2 weeks time also is natural, and we don't want that should also be here after the editing. So we only are going to remove stuff which are likely to not be here in 2 weeks time, right? So we're just going to look at those things. Though I think we are now at this point where I will say, okay, if we look at the baby's face, you'll see that there is, I just checked that everything looks, I put the before and after, and it looks sort of natural, only that I can see that the this area here I edited a little bit too much. So I will use an erasure, and I just want this line to come back again, so I'm just gonna go along here. You can see I got this one back. This doesn't matter, it's so small. It doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be, so in general it looks very natural. So now I will check. Yeah, that looks fine. And we look at her face. Can't remember what I did there. Did I do anything? Oh, there was just this thing, this little white thing there. Okay, so she has these markings here of the skin, and even though they're quite natural, I want to help her along a little bit. So I make a new layer copy, and now we're going to use a tool called Dust and Scratches, and we're going to put it, you can see right now there's a lot of texture which is disappearing. We want it to be so it's just making the skin look nice. This is too much, looks too unnatural, so we're gonna go with 5 pixels. This looks okay. Maybe 4 pixels. Yeah, I think so. So I will do this thing, and then I will select put this new layer as a mask here, and I'll select that. I'll press invert, and here we have all the details coming back again, and some of them we want to now paint away, and we do that by erasing the mask using, I mean, the black thing has to be on top for us to paint in the effect. So I use a very soft brush, and I think I will try with something like 6, something like that. It's just a feel, and then I'll start by going around on the and I'll just be clicking away and seeing if I can sort of like, and this is only because this is going up in very high resolution. Maybe this will only be only ever used as a postcard. Then all this I'm doing has no use at all, because all the corrections I'm doing right now, you will only be able to appreciate if this becomes a large scale photo. And obviously I mean, the photo is very beautiful, so it would make a lot of sense to do that. Let's have a look at the baby. And now we have these where there is this scaling, and you can see that I'm removing a lot of the scaling, not 100%. It appears. It could be that the baby needs a little bit more of this effect, so I'm making another layer here, and I'm doing the same thing now dust and scratches, and I'm trying to see, okay, as noise, dust and scratches, and we want to put it a little bit higher than 4 pixels. Let's see if we can get the scaling to disappear. I'm gonna try with 7, see how that works. And I'm gonna do the same thing again. I'm gonna make it a mask. I'm gonna invert. So now I have a brush where I can remove, you can see I can remove these scaling issues quite nicely. And now I'm getting rid of that thing which bothered me before. So I'm still going around removing the shine and the scaling, and it's quite easy. It's sort of like wipes everything clean almost, and the rest, if there's anything left, I will do by hand. I mean, I'm doing this by hand, but I will do this okay, and we'll just check if there was anything on the adult's face which maybe could improve a little bit. This I'm gonna fix in another way. Okay, so let's check the fingers. Is there anything, any nails visible? Because sometimes there are issues on nails. Nothing really. There's a nail there, but it's fine. She's taking very good care of her nails. But there's, see down there, and then by here, I don't know if you can see where I moved the mouth around. Just by the nail, if I just press one time, poof, you have this little issue here, and there's also one here. These are just minor points, but if this goes very large, she might be bothered by this. So I'm just making sure that this is a perfect photo. Okay, so that by the eye, there's a little bit of here. So now I'll say, okay, this is all fine. So I will take these 3 correctional layers here, and I will merge them. So this is now, all the corrections are here in this level here, and then you can see I can put them all back here. So this is now my master editing level. You can see wounds are disappearing, and these all these errors are disappearing. So I'm just gonna go quickly around to see, is there anything I would be bothered about if I was the woman and the child on the picture here. So and that I will patch up with a cloning brush. So I use her own skin to just finish up these corrections here, and after I have finished them up, then I will check. Oh, I did something wrong there. If you clone from a wrong place, it will look weird, so you have to be quite careful when you do the cloning. I'm gonna put the cloning up a little bit higher. Oh, you see, I cloned the birthmark. It went from there to there. That was obviously very wrong. So I'm just going to go back and have that. I was just going for that little piece of. So you have to be quite alert when you do this, so you don't do cloning which looks wrong. When you look at, I mean, you will not find anyone who has perfect skin. That's a complete illusion, really, what we are doing here. You will end up with somebody which has natural looking skin, but with no flaws. I mean, that is, so we're actually creating a bit of an illusion. But I think it's the story this photo conveys is so beautiful that you just want this picture to be like, that was a little bit too much. Back, and then take let's see if we can the story this photo is telling is so beautiful that we just want it to be perfect, but we still want it to look natural. So we are not. We want that to be some of the original. I did that wrong. Back again. We want. So this is a delicate thing because it looks very good, but we just want it to look. So there is nothing where the eyes sort of like go, oh, what's that? We just want it to look perfect, but not perfect. Does it make sense? Let's just see what we have right now. By the thumb, everything is perfect. Let's just go a little bit around. Like, is there anything which... there's something in the hair there, a small speck of something. When you repair hair, be very aware that you clone from the right position, otherwise it won't disappear, it'll just get worse. Let's just see if there's any other hair doing the same. There's one here also, and basically I don't really know what it is in her hair. It could be a little piece of skin or whatever. It's not really. It's just to make this, you might say, perfect picture, but still looking completely natural. So we don't want the texture. You can see the skin now looks natural. There is still texture in it. It's not completely smooth, and sometimes people will think, I haven't edited. They will go, well, you haven't done anything. And they will think, well, it's not, you're not doing anything. You're not doing any work, because it looks like that's just how I look. And what have you done? Have you done anything? I mean, I don't think you've done anything. And I'll have this sort of like, and then I say, okay, so let's see it from before. And you see here, this is the before. There is a difference. There is some, but the only thing which disappears here are the things which catches our attention to be not perfect. I have actually noticed something else. I just want to have a quick look on. See, on her eyebrow, her eyelid, I mean, there is something there. I don't know what it is. It's probably her makeup that has smudged a little bit, something like that, but we just remove it, smoothen it out. So that's gone. Let's have a look. Now it looks fine. Okay, so I'm getting to the point to say this is cleaned up. There isn't anything really which I have attention on. I'm just checking one thing here. The levels I put in, was that too strong on her hair? See, her hair seems a little bit burned there. So now I will put a little bit of the levels function out again. So I will, but I have to do it locally. It only has to be her hair, because I quite like the effect, but let's try to put a little bit, back. See, this is obviously too much, because maybe more like this. But then I say, okay, let's fade that. That means we take the effect and then we just find out how, this is where I thought there was something wrong, and then we just put a little bit back. Yeah, maybe it's just that. Just a little bit. And then I noticed that there's also a little bit of graying out here, and of course I'd like that to be a fresh white. So we're just going to put in the white again. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, because it depends on what screen you're using, but there was a little bit of, it became a little bit darker there. So if you have a good screen, you'll be able to see what I just did. If you have a bad screen, you were not able to see it. Okay, So now I think this is done. I've only basically used levels here, and I did the background. I did the basic editing, but I just want to test if there is some other stuff I can do to improve it. So I'm just gonna bring in curves. It's not sure that I'm gonna use this for anything, but let's just see. We got curves here, and what I want to see is, I just want to see what happens to her hair. I could bring in a little bit more shine if I wanted to. And her skin in the face actually also looks a little bit nice there. So I'm gonna press invert on the mask so it disappears the effect, because then I can use it as a thing I can erase locally. I can sort of say, I want this effect to be on her face. I quite liked what it did to her face. So let's see. You see, bring a little bit of light in here, bring a little bit of light on the kids, because that makes them have sort of like a moment. Then I can see there's some shine here, but maybe I will just try to bring it up a little bit more. I'll go like here. Do I like that? Yeah, I like that, but maybe it's too broad. Maybe just a little bit like this. No, that's not right. Huh. Maybe that's a little bit too much. So I take it away from here, put it back here a little bit. You might say, well, it's completely gone now. No, it isn't. It isn't. Let's see. So if you look at the hair, you see this is before, this is after. It's just a very, very small nice, but it's just a matter of getting this. I like the skin now, the light in the face, but maybe on the baby it was too much. So I'm going to remove that a little bit again here on the face of the baby. Maybe a little bit on her also. Okay, so what did I do? A little bit. So these things are really not necessary, but if you can do them, you tend to do it. Okay, so I think that concludes the editing of this lovely woman. And I hope you learned a little bit. This is like a complete editing from start to finish. All right, take care.